All right. So, I know yesterday I said I'd try to get on a little bit earlier today, but I sorta totally locked into music production or not music production, sound design, and completely forgot that I was like a thing that I had other things that I could have been doing, but is probably not the worst thing to lock in on and forget about other things, you know. So I'm not complaining. I think it's probably fine. But yeah, I did a lot of sound design today. I am also really tired today. So sound design was slightly difficult to work on today. One, because naturally I'm just a little bit stressed about the project because it's the kind of the most high stakes project that I've ever worked on before, I guess you could say. The expectations for the quality of work that I have to produce are definitely the highest of any audio thing I've been hired for so far. And so, you know, I'm a little bit stressed about it, but not too stressed. I think it's especially nice that I'm really not being rushed in any way. I'm being given plenty of time to work on these sound effects and really make sure that I'm happy with them, and you know, then Mark can make sure he's happy with them, and everything can be howdy doody dandy fine. That's probably a thing people say or something. It's not like I'm on a time crunch or anything. It's just this is like my first real project. You know what I mean? So of course there are gonna be nerves involved. But not only that, it was also, hey Pippi, I'll talk to you real quick. I'm not avoiding you. You always say that. Need a favor? Can you take my old rugby shirt to Otis for me? My feet are just killing me, or I'd do it myself. Should be a piece of cake for you, Swag Out. You'll do it for me, right? Yeah, I can do that for you. Alrighty then, don't forget now, Swag Out. I'll try. I haven't had the best track record lately. Not only was I a little bit stressed out, and I do tend to have difficulty working through stress sometimes, but I was also just very tired for some reason. I know why I was tired today. It's because I stayed up late last night. That's why I've been tired today. So I'm going to try to go to bed early today, so that I'm not so completely tired tomorrow, and then I can actually be fully locked in instead of just partially locked in trying to work through the tiredness like I was today. And then I think I can get a lot of progress done. But I still got a decent amount of progress done today. I recorded a lot of sounds. I didn't do quite as much of the designing as I had hoped to. I was really only doing the recording for the most part. I did design... I designed like 4 or 5 new sounds, I think. I want to say it was about 4 or 5 new sounds. And I'm decently happy with them. I was getting a little bit nervous working on it because I was like, oh my god, all these new sounds I'm making are like so mid and like it's not nearly as good as the preview or like the sound design practice video I made. What if what if Mark fucking hates me? You know, I was just getting the nerves were starting to build up a little bit because I wasn't fully happy with the sounds I was making. And then I sort of realized that with the sound design practice video, it was also something that sort of had to really come together over time. When I was first like working on that video, the first several sounds I made, I was like, these are kind of shit. I don't really like these at all. But the longer I worked on it, like the more ideas I got for like what certain things could sound like. I didn't read what that was. Nebuloid. I think I might have one of those already. That's kind of interesting sounding though. The more ideas I got for like what other sounds could be, sounds that I hadn't like thought of, well, like I don't even know like what a sound for this might sound like, but as I messed around I started to come up with ideas for that, and I also started to kind of iterate on the sounds I didn't like quite so much, and improve them and get them in a place I was a lot more happy with. And so it really is a process. And so even if the new sounds I'm making I'm not totally happy with right now, I'm going to continue messing around with them until they're in a place that I'm happy with, and then I can send them off to Mark Brown and see what he thinks, and if you know, if they require changes, then at that point I'm getting more like specific instructions for what to do, and the process becomes a lot easier at that point than just trying to divine an idea for a sound, like, you know, out of the void. For some sounds, it's really easy to come up with. Otis is usually down here, right? Come up with an idea for how it should sound, because this is Otis's house, right? Yeah, that's Otis's house. Because it's like literally a real world object. Like all of the little the like little letter tile things are like, yeah, they're just Scrabble tiles. So I took I own a version of the game Bananagrams, which is basically more freeform Scrabble. And I took the tiles from that game and I recorded them for like all the little tile sounds, and I'm still using some of those original recordings. I'm also using some new recordings I've made with them, and like those sounds are really easy because they're supposed to sound like Scrabble tiles, so I just use Scrabble tiles. But there are also a lot more abstract things, like how should it sound when you click a button? And should you use the exact same button clicking sound for every kind of button, or should you come up with a few different kinds for the different kinds of buttons that there are in the game? And if you do, then not only do you have to kind of divine the idea, that like first button clicking idea, which is already very abstract and like hard to kind of, okay, like this is a sound I could use for it that is satisfying and functional and stands out and sounds nice, and you know, now you have to do that however many times over as you want to make, you know, different sounds for different types of buttons. Anyways, take this shirt. Yeah, it has been a little while, hasn't it? Yeah, sorry about that. But, you want to have this shirt? There you go. Hey, are these the clothes Pippi asked you to give me? Here, let me try them on. Ooh. Okay, whatever you say. Stinky side, what the fuck? Okay. Oh, your shirt that you just gave me on a whim is on the stinky side. I thought you were saying the shirt that Pippi was giving you and was planning on giving you was on the stinky side, which would be slightly a little bit more weird. It's still a little weird that you gave me a stinky shirt. It's a moldy shirt. That is fucking disgusting. Why is this a shirt in the game? That's so gross. Oh my god. I'm throwing that in the dump right away. That, no. So, yeah, some sounds are easy to come up with ideas for, some sounds are definitely not. But that's kind of where the fun of sound design comes from, is like, you know, when you're able to come up with something that fits, that's just totally, like, off the wall, and yet it works really well, and it like you feel really creative for having come up with that idea. So it's fun. It's not the easiest work to do when you're really tired and also really stressed out, because that just makes it really hard to experiment and get in that flow state, you know. But I still managed to push through for a little bit, and I also made a mess of my desk because of how many weird little things I was recording, and I want to even record more stuff tomorrow too. I tried to like record as much of what I thought I needed to record today, but there's still more stuff I'm thinking of that I'm like, ooh, this could work really well for this kind of sound, and this could work well for this kind of sound. So yeah, today I like gathered a bunch of stuff up on my desk to record sounds with, and one of them was a cup of water with a straw that I was blowing bubbles into, and while I was blowing bubbles into it, a lot of the water kind of overflowed out of the cup and spilled onto my desk. Luckily it didn't get on any electronics. I have only had one bad liquid spill on my desk my entire life, and the only thing it got to was my mouse, and it didn't even break my mouse, it just made the switch a little bit sticky because it was tea. And it had some honey in it, and so it got in the switch, and I took apart the mouse multiple times trying to clean it out, and it just would not stop being sticky and really unsatisfying, like really horribly unsatisfying to click. And so I just got a new mouse. I feel like I've talked about that already, but that happened not that long ago. Like a few months ago, I think. So I may have talked about it already. But anyways, I really need to go to bed, so that's what I'm gonna do. So I will talk to you tomorrow. Alright, bye-bye.